What's up, everybody? Tread West Podcast back with another video. Gonna cover just a couple things that the Trump admin's doing or has said they want to do this past week, and it's got people freaking out. One of them, we'll go over it, but the first one we're gonna talk about, share screen here. So, Trump revoking protections for 530,000 Cubans, Haitians, and other migrants. So, this, sounds worse than it is in my mind. Um, what happened was the Biden administration just made it so easy that these people could just have a sponsor here and they would just be taken in and protected. And that's not how easy it should be. And you saw a few months ago before the election, you saw the whole Ohio town where they were claiming the Haitians were eating the dogs, eating the cats. A lot of those people were brought um, in this Biden era sponsorship program. Let's read a little, see if it actually says the name for it and that. But basically, in my opinion, it shouldn't have been that easy for them to get in here. So I don't have a problem if Biden just allowed them to come in that easy. Then yeah, Trump, if he decides no, should just be able to say nope, sorry, it's not that easy. You just don't get to fucking come in here and be sponsored because we all know there's plenty left wing NGO groups and that they probably just have someone saying they're going to be a sponsor, and then these people are getting welfare benefits and what have you. But President Trump's administration said it will revoke the temporary legal status of more than 500,000 migrants from Cuba, Haiti, Nicaragua, and Venezuela. Those migrants have been warned to leave the country before their permits and deportation shields are canceled on 24 April. Okay, so they got time. It's not like, hey, you're illegal now. We're coming to get you. But the 530,000 migrants were brought into the U.S. under the Biden-era sponsorship process known as CHNV. That was designed to open legal migration pathways. Trump suspended the program once he took office. It's unclear how many of these migrants have been able to secure another status in the interim that would allow them to stay in the U.S. legally. So yeah, maybe if they were actually proactive, this is my whole thing. You see these sob stories. I saw one the other day. This couple's been here for 30 plus years and they're being deported. They were here 30 plus years and they didn't do any legwork or anything to be legal in this country. Like, shame on you. You definitely could have been being proactive and doing shit to be made a citizen in 30 years. Shame on you. You thought, nope, we've just been here this long. We're grandfathered in. We'll be good. I don't have sympathy for that. That shows just laziness and complete disregard for the laws of the nation. So you're not going to hear me crying and being sympathetic toward people like that. Go about it the right way. I'm not saying the immigration process is perfect. It should be reworked. But until it gets reworked, you go by it the way it's supposed to be. You can't just have unchecked open borders. There are bad people in the world who will come into this country to do bad things. Simple as that. Some of these people just think the world's sunshine and rainbows. And that's all we'll talk about there on that. I'm going to switch over to this one because this one, you know, there's a lot of right wing people. The Matt Walshes of the Daily Wire, they always have to chime in on stuff like this. But his latest pitch was no taxes if you earn less than $150,000 a year. I think that's a good thing. Okay. I'm for anybody getting a tax break. That's why, I don't like these leftists that scream tax the rich, tax the wealthy. No, taxation's theft. That's my libertarian part of me. Anybody paying less than taxes, like we should eliminate taxes across the board for everyone to a certain degree, or we all pay a flat tax. In my mind, but if you're getting rid of any, I'll take baby steps. And people that earn less than 150,000, with inflation rampant the way it has been the past few years, they could use a break. So I'm down for people earning less than 150,000 to get a little bit of relief, a little break. And then yeah, I've heard people say, well, it should be on the first 150,000 that you make. That way people that make more, at least they're still getting a little bit of a tax break. I'm fine with that as well. I got no problems with that. I'm not some leftist who hates the rich and's like, no, that you should tax them more and the other people less. No, I think everybody should get taxed less across the board. So I'm good with this, but you had people like Matt Walsh on the right chiming in saying like this isn't fair, it doesn't incentivize people to work, blah 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 blah. All right. And he had some points where like, okay, if there's somebody that makes $200,000 per year, but they got 4 kids, they could probably use the tax break more than a single person making 150. True. Or less than 150. True to a certain degree. I also think there should be more tax breaks for families. They should make it, but this has to be families, not single mothers that they tend to like give money to right now in our system. We shouldn't be incentivizing single motherhood. It should be families. 2-parent household. You are married, you stay married, you have children together, you get massive tax breaks or no income tax. Something like that I'm down for as well. But I'm all fine with people making less than $150,000 a year getting some tax breaks. Like, yeah, if you make 100,000, you should be fine. It all depends where you live, of course. But still, like, man, the amount that they take in taxes. Like when I first got my like starting out job, I was making about 70 a year, and man, $70,000 a year. 70,000. You're just looking at the total. You're like I'm gonna make 70,000, and then after taxes, you're like, man, that was more like 40 to 50,000. What the hell? So now, in order to making around 70, you got to be making 6 figures because by the time you get taxed, that's how much is getting taken out. And then I won't go into Medicare on this video, but that's going to be my next long form. Maybe I'll talk about Medicare because that'll be a controversial take that people on all sides will attack me for. It's a Ponzi scheme. We'll just leave it at that. That's what I view it as. Social Security, that's what I mean, not Medicare. Social Security. Ponzi scheme. I'll make a whole video on that though. We shouldn't be paying into it unless we want to. That's my view. Long story short there. So, what do you guys think? You like this? I'm very curious. I've been happy with the Trump admin so far. I'm, a little iffy on the bombings in Yemen that are going, but what president hasn't been bombing Yemen? Not justifying it, but all the presidents recently have been bombing Yemen all the way back to Obama. And all this tax talk, though, I'm down for people to get tax breaks. Even if it wouldn't affect me, I'm down for people getting tax breaks. Like, if they were to go, well, actually, people making less than $50,000 a year, we're going to give a tax break to. That doesn't affect me. I'm making more than that. But I would be like, okay, yeah, those people are probably struggling. They could use a bigger tax break. But yeah, 150,000, I think that's a fair amount. Because these days the stuff costs, especially if you got kids too. 150,000 really ain't that much anymore. Um, it's far above the average of what people make, but if you're raising a family, man, 150,000 doesn't go as far as it used to. So I'm all for these breaks. What do you guys think? Comment, like, subscribe at Trad West Podcast on all platforms. We're trying to get those Rumble numbers up. I've been getting more views on Rumble. We need to get the likes, follows up on Rumble, people. Let's get it. Trying to build something here so I don't have to slave away at my 9 to 5 job every day. And I can pump out more content, better content. Until next time, Trad West Podcast, out.